practicing hard. I mean, that's one thing I give them credit. But the more thing, there's taking coaching. And when you start taking coaching, you start playing the game in your head and you slow things down, I mean, you start seeing results. And so, you know, day 4, you know, you're starting to see those things start to kind of come into fruition. So I'm really pleased with the guys, and like I said, most of all, the way they're competing.
When you took this position, what was kind of the message, or why did Mario choose you? What is it about kind of your system and the way that you coach that works for what they want to do here?
Well, I hope that he chose me, obviously. Like, you know, I take a lot of pride in my craft. You know, technique has always been, you know, one of the things that I kind of harp on, and one of the things that, you know, is just one of the solid things in my course. So he knew that I was a technician, but I'm very passionate too. So, you know, the guys that I put on the field, the product that I put on the field on Saturdays, like I said, it's a huge reflection of me. And so I know the way I play the game, try to install that in my players. And, you know, those guys, like I said, they're going to compete and play with the same passion I do.
Where did you get that passion from? Like, when did that kind of start to develop?
And like I said, I mean, it was installed from my parents, and it kind of got passed on. I mean, but I've been playing this game, and, you know, just all the little competitive sports, from wrestling to football to basketball, baseball, I did it all. So, you know, it was installed in me early, and like I said, that's the biggest thing and the biggest gift that I could give back to my players.
How chaotic was it for you to move from Logan to Lubbock to Eugene, and have you settled in yet?
I'm still trying to get settled in. It's not all the way complete, but, you know, it's a good thing. And sometimes these things happen, but, you know, I think at the end it's all going to work out. I know that. There will be light at the end of the tunnel, but right now, like I said, the main thing, the important thing is right now is this program and getting these kids on track. So.
When you know you're inheriting a group that's losing a productive receiver like Dylan was, but returning everybody else and the 4 signees and whatnot, just what were your thoughts initially of just the group you were inheriting? And clearly you've seen them now for 4 practices. But just what were your thoughts of, like, all right, you've got to replace a 1,100-yard receiver? You
know, I knew we needed development with this group. You know, that was the first thing that Coach mentioned, you know, within the interview process. So I knew that it's going to be a process. And when I say that, you know, we got to start from the beginning. You can't just think that these kids know everything, you know what I mean? You got to go in understanding that you got to start from day 1 stuff, you know what I mean? Whether it starts in stance, whether it's coming off the ball, whether it's arm movement, all those little things, you cannot overlook that. And so, you know, that's one thing that I did from day 1, you know, catching the ball. I mean, all those things, you cannot expect that, you know, so.
Sounds rudimentary, but because drops were such an issue for this team last season, clearly you can't answer that, but what does a receiver coach do in literally teaching players to catch a ball? Like that was such a big problem. Like, well, how do you address that when that was just a glaring weakness for this team?
Well, I think a lot of it, man, you know, you can harp on them, you can beat kids up, but at the end of the day, you got to install confidence. Obviously, these kids play at an elite program, one of the best in the country, and so they got here for a certain reason. And so, you know, obviously the coaching habits, that's my part. I'm gonna keep coaching on the small, minute details, but you got to install confidence. If the kid doesn't have confidence, he doesn't have a chance. And so, you know, I understand some of these kids were beat up a little bit last year, and I'm just talking mentally. So I'm here as a coach. We're going to establish the confidence. I'm going to build them up. I'm going to build the character up, and then I'm going to build the technique up.
What have you seen so far from Delgado, the freshman?
He's very impressive. I mean, from day 1, he came in competing, and I mean, he's sharp mentally. I am able to move him inside, outside. I mean, I love what the kid his makeup is, man. I mean, the kid is right now, he's competing, he's catching balls, and he's flashy right now. So,
as much as you want to instill confidence, is there a message to some of the more veteran guys about, because when you have 3 additional signees plus a grad transfer showing up later on, about a sense of urgency here of, look, if you don't show it now, you may be falling behind guys who are a lot younger than you. You have to kind of balance that?
Well, you know, the thing that, the first thing that the day 1 when I came in the room is talking about competition. We got to compete. And so, you know, every day is going to be a competition. I mean, it's a revolving door for me. If I see some things I don't like, hey, it might be in with the next guy. But right now, I'm trying to establish competition. You know, guys have got to challenge each other, and we got to push each other. And so when those guys walk in, I mean, they're going to be thrown into the fire too. But it's about competing. Who's going to step up? Who can I count on come Saturdays?
The plays that Schooler made today, would you say you practiced with confidence today?
Absolutely. I mean, Schooler's a guy right now, he's very dependable for me. He's going to be in the right spots. You know, like I said, one of the things, again, with him is the confidence factor. You know what I mean? He could catch. He knows he could catch. I mean, his background was more defense, but he has it in him. So just understanding the confidence level and seeing the ball in, I mean, he's going to be fine.